Hey there, greetings and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. So today it's our series, and this is episode number 24, featuring this man, Peter Gabriel, one of my favorites. Audrey's now joining us back here. Where am I? I'm on this way, yeah. Oh, got the hands wrong. I'm not sure where. Right there. Audrey's joined us now, replacing Grace. I thought I'd give Grace a holiday. She's been in a lot of my videos. So Audrey Hepburn's up there now. And so now we're going to do Peter Gabriel, one of the most influential people to me. One of my favorite vocalists for sure. He's in my group of 8. The only individual in my group of 8, I might add. I like every single album he's put out. He has one masterpiece album, and I included the first 2 albums that I ever owned by him, which were these 2. So yeah, he has a lot of really good music. I think, I've been told he's world music. He has some progressive element to it. But the other things about his lyrics are really good, thought-provoking lyrics. Writes about a lot of different topics, has an opinion on a lot of different topics, from racism to the dark soul of the way we think, our psyche, love in general, relationships, all kinds of different stuff. And he has, I think he tells the truth pretty well in his stories about why we do things the way we do it. A really good understanding of the human psyche, I think. And, that would be all great if he was a novelist or a writer, but he's a musician, so his lyrics have to come along with good music. And he's very inventive in this. He develops his album. The thing about his albums, I think, is that they progress. So there's a progressive element, obviously, to them. They've gone from being more simplistic and more raw to much more sophisticated. So yeah, there's a world music sound to them, but there's also, he likes to use some African sounds as well, progressive sounds. And he's had a lot of the same musicians on his albums, and so they have a kind of cohesiveness to it. And he usually has very few really bad tracks. Most of his music is really listenable to, and there's no, if that's even a word, sorry, but there's no kind of fluff to his music. Well, maybe some of the later albums might have a bit of fluff to them, but most of the earlier stuff is like one song after another. It's just a different topic and different kind of sound to it, and album after album, pretty much the same way. I really like his voice a lot too. I think he has a real progressive sounding voice, but also a real rock sounding voice, and not an easy one to imitate. I've tried. I love a lot of his stuff, so I sing a lot of it. Just a really good, solid kind of rock voice. And this goes back to even when he was with Genesis, like those half dozen albums he was with Genesis at the beginning, from Trespass right up to The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. All really good stuff on there. I'm not as big a fan of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway as a lot of people are. I think it was too big, I guess, probably what it was. If they condensed it down to one album, or even, like a big one album, it would have been fine. Anyways, just a great vocalist. His influence on me is that he really kind of was the vocalist that got me moving in the direction of music other than progressive rock. So I got into progressive rock primarily because of Rush, and then it branched out. But after a while, I was listening to the stuff that was released by the individual members of the band, as opposed to just like Genesis, Rush, and Yes, and just listen to them. I started listening to John Anderson and Steve Howe, and even Mike Rutherford and Phil Collins and all that stuff. So they all branched out and do their own thing. But Peter Gabriel's music, I think, is as good as anything Genesis put out during the era that he was with them, and better than a lot of the stuff they put out since. Oh yeah, they did much better, maybe financially, and had bigger hits and stuff like that. But I think overall, I think he was. I just enjoy his music quite a bit. So there you have, like, the guy is well respected as well in the musical field, like with his stuff and his innovation. The other thing too that I didn't mention is he was one of the first guys who kind of got me to watch videos on television, or on the MTV. Yeah, there was lots of people doing them, but I would just glance at them. But when his videos were provoking, thought-provoking and stuff, and I think he had some of the best videos, and he may be one of the first ones to do like those kind of videos as well. So they had a big impact on me, the visual impact of rock music. I think he was among the leaders in that department. So at least for me, he was anyways. My only problem with Peter Gabriel now is that, he, from 1976 to about 1986, so it's 10 years he produced Gabriel 1, 2, 3, Security, and So he had 5 albums in a 10-year period, which isn't bad. It's about one every 2 years. But then it just got bigger, like the gaps got bigger and bigger. I wished he'd done more stuff. That's the only thing. Like, to me, he has basically 7 studio albums and a couple of albums that he did different stuff with, and some soundtracks and a few songs that didn't appear on live albums. On studio albums. But other than that, he's been kind of silent, so it doesn't have a big discography. That's my only issue, and that's probably the reason it's taken him so long to join my elite group and become a member of the group of 8 now. He probably would have been there earlier if he'd had more stuff. He started out, he was almost there, but then he started dying off and not producing stuff. But, that's a catch-22 as well. If he produced more stuff, maybe he would be like a lot of bands who produce too much and brings the quality down. So it's hard to know because he never did, and he's supposed to release one this year. I've been praying that it's going to come out, but I really haven't warmed up to the last one, which is more than 20 years ago now. So hopefully this one will be a little bit better. And so there you have it, my episode number 25 in my series, My Strange Fascinations, and this one was on Peter Gabriel. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back tomorrow with yet another one. Getting down close to the end now, and this one is here for the first day of the week, anyways, first day of this week. So please like and subscribe, and let me know what your experiences are with Peter Gabriel. What do you like or dislike about him? I'd be interested in hearing that. He may trigger something that I completely forgot, which is more common now than it was 20 years ago. Let's put it that way. Getting the bit of the olds here. So have yourself a good day. Bye.